Hello and welcome. In this video we are looking at the shield visuals on the Jem'Hadar fighter. So I'll be looking at the Vanity Shields available from the Tier 6 reputations, the Dilithium store, Zen store, the Summer and Winter event stores. Then we'll also look at the shields that you equip to your vessel that also have visuals that you can slot in the visual section. So the first section we're going to look at is the Tier 6 reputation Vanity Shields. So once you get your reputations up to Tier 6, so your new Romulus, your Gamma, your Nukara and so forth, you have active projects that you can slot to get these Vanity Shields. So the first one we shall have a look at is going to be the 8472 Vanity Shield. So as you can see here, we've got some green here in the cells with this honeycomb pattern. We've got this ridge pattern as well, as you see from the front there. Same again at the back. See some more green in the cells there. There's more of that ridge detail going on, and then of course the hull, rather than being the purple, is white. Got a wee bit of illuminated circles going on here with some illuminated lines as well. See a touch of a pale greenish shading going on. On the underside, so you've got the green there on the engines themselves, and more of that ridge pattern and that honeycomb effect there on the nacelles. Next up is the competitive Wargames Vanity Shield. So we're still seeing quite a bit of the hull material, in this case the Jem'Hadar Type 4 here. So we've got the pinkish purple here on the nacelles. You can see some of the purple shading on the hull there. And you can see some of these yellow lights coming through. You see these yellow reflective panels there, a bit of this grey hull material. And we see more of the yellow reflective panels there. And quite a few of the panels there on the top, down the top of the engines there. And then you've got that light grey hull material pattern with these yellow lighting effects going on as well. Next up, we're looking at the Delta Alliance Vanity Shield. So we can see this green glow onto the nacelles. Got this greyish hull material with a touch of very light green there. Got the green lighting effect there on the front. This green line going round areas of the ship, and this illuminated green sections as well. So in the side view we've got the green there on the nacelles, green there for the impulse engines. And there's more of that green line effect going underneath almost the shell of the ship, if you like. And same round here. And there's a better view of the green illuminated impulse engines there. Now we move on to the Discovery Legends Vanity Shield. So this is purely giving this oily effect all over your ship. So the base material remains unchanged on this one. Next up is the Dyson Joint Command Vanity Shield. So you can see this grey purplish hull material here, and you've got some illuminated lines you can see at the front of the ship there. A bit more so here on the back. It's more of the line pattern. At the back here we've got this pink and black pattern effect going on. See more of that illuminated line pattern on top. And same again there on the underside, and there's that pink and black pattern effect going around there. Here we have the Gamma Vanity Shield, so with this vibrant pinkish purple effect here in the cells. You can see the dark purple, all this metallic shading going on in the hull. The pink here at the front, and more of that dark purple at the back here. Purple there for the impulse engines, the purple shading parts of the ship. Rotate through that purple, gives off this nice blue shine to it. Same again there on the underside. Now we come to the Iconian Resistance Vanity Shield, so we'll be retaining quite a bit of the existing hull material, but then we've got this pale green, this pinkish purple pattern on it. See it again there at the back. The impulse engines there. Again, bits of the pattern there in the cells. That pattern there going down the centre of the ship there, on the top of the engines. The same pattern going round here on the underside of this shell part of the ship. You have the Lukari Restoration Initiative Vanity Shield, so it's designed to give your ship the look of a Lukari vessel from the missions in Star Trek Online. So we've got this greeny aqua hull material colour going on, this nice purple effect in the lights at the front there. This illuminated band around the back of the ship. Bit of a spectrum of colour happening here on the impulse engines. See more of that illuminated band going right around this section of the hull. A nice reflection off it there as the light hits it. And there's that wee spectrum of colour going from white through the greens, blues, purples and pinks there. A bit more of the lighting effect here as well. Now we come to a very bright Vanity Shield, and that is the new Romulus Reman Vanity Shield. So straight off we're seeing a lot of these light panels effects going on. Got this cyan blue here under the cells with more of these light panels. See the back of the nacelles there as well. This green effect here on the impulse engines, again more of the light panels in the rear there. Take it through, you get that green metallic shine as the light hits it. There's more of those light panels on the underside as well. Here we have the Nukara Strikeforce Vanity Shield, so it's designed to give your ship the look of a Tholian vessel. These bright cyan blue nacelles here, and cyan blue there at the front. We've got this bluish grey hull material. See that pattern effect going on in the hull there. These lines and indentations on the hull material. The yellow there for the impulse engines. A nice yellow reflection as the light hits it there. There's more of that pattern fill going on. Almost looks like circuitry almost. And just the hull material pattern on the underside with touches of that circuitry pattern. Here we have the Omega Force Vanity Shield, so we've got a lot of light grey hull material, got this blue checkered pattern, quite prominent there on the front. You see some of it there on the back, and then we've got this other pattern effect on the hull material there. That blue checkered pattern there on the nacelles. Same here on this wing. Some more blue infill there. And more of that blue check pattern on the underside. Here we have the Temporal Defence Initiative Vanity Shield, so this one's got quite a bit of colour in it. So we've got this pinkish hull material, this greyish leather effect going on as well. You see these sections of colour that do change when the light hits it. These yellow nacelles, the orange there, and the front lights there. There's this yellow illuminated line pattern going on in the hull as well. A vibrant pink there for the impulse engines. There's that leathery effect there on the nacelles as well. As we rotate through, you'll see those bands of colour starting to change as the light hits them at different angles. Same again there on the underside, and more of that illuminated yellow lines as well. And the last shield from the tier 6 of the reputations is the Terran Task Force Vanity Shield. So this cyan blue there on the nacelles, with the yellow lighting there at the front. You can see these blue illuminated lines and dots as well. Dark grey hull material. More of those illuminated blue dashes and dots. Blue and white there for the impulse engines. Got this almost welded hull plating look to it. The next section, we're looking at the Vanity Shields from the summer and winter event stores. So these are available all year round, providing you have collected enough of the consumables in order to craft them during the summer and winter events themselves. The summer event covers the baseball series of shields, and at the time of recording the winter event only has one shield in it, and that will be the Fek'lhri Vanity Shield. So this dark grey on the hull there with this red pattern fill, with this dull blue effect here on the engines, and this yellow lighting here on the front. More of that red material you see at the back here, and then on this grey hull there is speckles of this rusty red colour mixed in. The yellow there on the impulse engines. As we rotate through and the light hits these red sections, you can see that reflection off of them. It's a very nice metallic look. It's the same there on the underside. The first of the summer event baseball series shields is the Andorian Blue Bores. This one here is a blue and orange Vanity Shield, so we can see the orange with the honeycomb there on the cells, with the blue there for the material, with this grey with these orange lines in it, orange lighting there on the front, more of the orange there at the rear, Orange there for the impulse engines. You see those orange lines on the grey material there. Bit of an orange shine off it as the light hits it as we rotate through. Same again there on the underside. Next up it's the Bozeman Titans. So this is a grey, yellow and black Vanity Shield. So from previous videos, these baseball series tend to follow the same pattern of the distribution of colour, and all it does is change the colour relevant to the shield. We've got the yellow there on the impulse engines. You can see the black and yellow line effect there. Same there in the rear. Yellow there on the impulse engines. As I say, it's following the same pattern effect. What we're doing is just changing the colour on it. Rotate through, get that yellow reflective look as the light hits it. Next up it's the Caitian Claws. So this is a purple and goldish colour Vanity Shield. Yellow there on the cells and on the impulse engines. Nice bit of reflection of the light hitting the hull there. Here we have the Deep Space Niners. So this has got your orange, reds, yellows, blues and whites. This is based off of their uniforms in the Season 7 episode of DS9, Take Me Out to the Holosuite. You see the red and orange effect there on the impulse engines, and again here on the nacelles. That orange reflection as the light hits it. Next up it's the Denebian Slime Devils. So with this purple and green Vanity Shield. So we see the green there on the nacelles and on the impulse engines. A bit of reflection as the light hits it as we rotate through it. Next up we have the Ferenginar Liquidators. Got this green and gold and yellow Vanity Shield. The yellow there on the nacelles and on the impulse engines. That nice shine again as the light hits it. We have the stem bolts, which is a pink, grey and white Vanity Shield. This dirty white effect here on the nacelles, same there on the impulse engines. As the light hits it, we get that pink reflection. Next up we have the Vulcan Logicians. So this is based off of their uniform in that Season 7 episode of Deep Space Nine, Take Me Out to the Holosuite. So we've got greys, purples and golds on this one. there in the nacelles, same with the impulse engines. Gold line around the back of the ship. And that bluey purple reflection as the light hits it. And the last one from the summer event is the Workbees. Look at this. Goldy colour and reds going on in this shield. Dark yellow, almost orange effect there on the impulse engine, same here on the nacelles. Rotate through to get that red reflection as the light hits it. The next section is shields available in the Dilithium store during special events during the year and from the Zen store. So at this time of recording we only have one shield available in the Zen store, and that is the Alliance Vanity Shield. So this comes with a uniform for the Khitomer Alliance and a tech upgrade as well. It's designed to give your vessel the look of a vessel from the Khitomer Alliance, so such as the Khitomer, the Zhat, the Rex and so forth. So we'll have this cyan blue here on the nacelle here, and we've got this gold, got the white, got the dark grey, and got this orange lights here at the front. There's red lines as well. And that cyan blue there on the nacelles, and there's that orange and yellow effect there for the impulse engines. So the first of the Dilithium store Vanity Shields, this is the M.A.C.O Vanity Shield, a very popular Vanity Shield. So got white here on the nacelles, got that cyan blue here at the front, and got a smooth dark grey hull material. That lovely deep red impulse engines there. Start to see a bit of the pattern of the hull material. And more of that pattern effect going on, so it's designed to give you a vessel the look of a M.A.C.O ship. This is the Borg Vanity Shield, so this gives the look of a liberated Borg vessel and not an assimilated ship. It does cause a bit of confusion and annoyance with people when they buy this Vanity Shield, just because it's called Borg and it really should be named the Liberated Borg. So we've got this grey hull material, it's got a lot of hull plating look to it, got the blue there on the nacelles, and then we've got these exposed areas on the hull with blue and gold lighting. And blue there on the impulse engines. More of that exposed areas where there's no hull plating. See more of that there on the top of the ship. And same again there on the underside. Now we come to the Discovery Vanity Shield. So this is to give you a vessel the look of a ship from Season 1 of Star Trek Discovery. So this is the Federation one, and if you apply this same shield on a KDF character, you get a totally different look, and we'll look at that one next. So we've got this honeycomb with the blue and white here on the nacelles, this blue lighting here, and then this grey hull material. So that blue and white honeycomb effect there on the cells. It's a red honeycomb effect there for the impulse engines. You see in the hull there the different shades of grey that it's used to create a bit of a pattern. Here we have the Discovery Vanity Shield, so this is the KDF version. So got this red and white pulsating on the cells here, got the red and white pulsating there as well. And then the hull material is this light brown. It's got all the glyphs and other patterns on it. And got this yellow and white here on the impulse. It's supposed to make your ship look like what they called Klingons in Discovery vessels. Here we have the Emperor's Vanity Shield. So we've got this orange here on the cells, the yellow whiting there, and you see this grey and purple shading to the hull. Cyan blue there for the impulse engines. It's almost a Jem'Hadar colour scheme apart from the engines. Here we have the Ferengi Vanity Shield. So as you expect, a lot of oranges. Like these orange lights here, I've got the dark orange and this almost yellowy orange effect going on in the hull material. The yellow almost gold colouring here on the lines at the back. And the yellow there on the impulse engines, there's that lighter yellow for the nacelles. A bit of an orange reflection there as the light hits it. You can make out some of the riveted hull plates effect on the hull material itself. Next up it's the Hur'q Vanity Shield, so it's designed to give your ship the look of a Hur'q vessel. So we've got this pale green hull material and then this green illuminated pattern effect in the hull, and then we've got the green there in the cells. With that illuminated pattern there at the back. See it here in the cells, and you've got the same pattern effect there on the impulse engines. More of that illuminated effect there on the underside. So here we have the Kelvin Divergence Vanity Shield. So similar to Discovery 1, this is applied to Federation aligned character. So you get the look of the Federation ships from the reboot films, and you get a different look when you apply it to a KDF one, and we'll look at that one next. So this light grey hull material. Cells are almost white, just with a tint of blue in them, and you've got the orange there for the impulse engines. And here we have the Klingon version of the Kelvin Divergence Shield. I really do wish to just split these out into two shields so you can apply one or the other regardless of your faction. So we've got the green to the hull, with the yellow here and the lights at the front. Bit of grey lines around the ship. Blacked out the nacelles, and we've got this red effect here on the impulse engines. More of the different shades of green on it, and some grey on the hull there, and with the same again there on the underside. Next up is the section 31 Vanity Shield. So as you have got this dark hull material, and the cells are blacked out on this one. A bit of lighter shading and certain panels there on the hull. This vibrant red in the impulse engines. Multi lines on the hull as well. Here we have the Tzenkethi Vanity Shield, so it's designed to make your ship look like a Tzenkethi cruiser. And these bright yellow on the impulse engines here, we've got this green hull material with this indentation pattern on it. Got this pulsating lighting effect going on as well, and quite a bit of black in there and some grey. And that pulsating lighting effect going around the back here. Right there for the impulse engines. And a lot more of the pulsating light effects there. And we've got that green, grey and black shading to the hull. And more of those pulsating lights going round here. And currently the last of the Vanity Shields available from the Dilithium store is the Zhat Vash Vanity Shield. So we've got these various tones of greens and some almost very light browns there. This very vibrant red here on the nacelles. You've got green there on the lights at the front. Red there for the impulse engines as well. It's almost like an army camouflage kind of effect that they're going for. Then we've got the last section for the shield that we'll look at is the shields that you equip to your ship as normal shields, but they also have a visual component which you can either leave enabled or slot separately in the visual section. So these shields are either from the reputation system or as mission rewards. And the first one we're going to have a look at is the Lukari Restoration Initiative Regenerative Shield from the Lukari reputation. So, like the Vanity Shield, is to make your vessel look like a Lukari ship. This one's a slightly different colour to the hull material. Got this bright blue, almost white here on the impulse engines. There's cyan blue there at the front. Still with that illuminated line going around this part of the hull. A wee spectrum of colour from white, blues through to the pinks. So a nice cyan shine there as the light hits off of it. Same there on the underside. Here we have the adapted M.A.C.O covariant shield from the M.A.C.O rep. So this is the Federation shield. The Klingon one is the Klingon Honor Guard resilient shield, and we'll see that next. So this applies this dark grey and honeycomb pattern here to the hull. And there at the back of the nacelles as well. So retaining the colour from the base hull material for the nacelles and engines. And as you rotate through, you get this blue shine as the light hits those honeycomb sections. And here we have the adapted Klingon Honor Guard Resilient Shield from the Omega Rep. So this is on a KDF character. So we see we've got the grey hull material, and we've got the yellow lighting with the orange there on the nacelles. Orange there on the impulse as well. Bit of this yellow lighting here on the top. And this goldy colour pattern here on the underside as well. Here we have the Aegis or Aegis Vanity Shield from the R&D. This is the Federation one, so the colours are slightly different, and again the KDF one will be up next. So it retains the base hull material and adds these illuminated lines, as you can see here. A bit more here on the back. This illuminated line is going down top of the engines there. A bit there as well. I see it going right round the underside here. You have the Aegis or Aegis shield and the KDF character. So as you see here, this has got this orange illuminated lines on it, whereas the Federation one had the white. And more of that orange lighting lines there. Again round here. Here we have the assimilated regenerative shield from the Omega reputation. So this is the one that gives your vessel the assimilated look. You can see some of the assimilated pattern here on the front, that green effect there on the nacelles. A bit more of that assimilated pattern effect there. That yellowy, goldy, greeny effect going on here on the impulse. A bit more of that assimilated pattern effect, and more so there on the underside. Here we have the Bajor Defense Covariant Shield. This is a mission reward. So we've got this dull grey hull material with this pastel reds material effect on it. It's the blue there on the nacelles. The yellow there, this groove pattern on the hull, the yellow there for the impulse engines, here we have the Counter Command Covalent Shield from the 8472 reputation. So this bluish hull material, and you see all these dots over it. The green there on the nacelles, got these illuminated circles and lines. And this yellowy green effect on the lights here. Of that illuminated green lines round the back. Green there on the impulse engines. A honeycomb pattern there on the nacelles. There's almost a mirror effect on this blue material as it rotates through. Then we have the Delta Alliance Unimatrix shield from the Delta Alliance Reputation. So with this grey hull material, got the green lights and the cells there. There's gold banding going around certain parts of the ship. Green there on the impulse engines. And several sections with illuminated lines on it as well. Here we have the Dyson Regenerative shield from the Dyson Reputation. So it's a bit of a lighter hull material compared to the Vanity Shield. This purple effect here at the back. You start to see that illuminated purple line effect going on in the hull material. Yeah, a bit better there from the top. Again there on the underside. And we come to the Iconian Resistance Resilient Shield. So we've got this grey hull material with this red and orange pattern design on it. This almost goldy colour to the nacelles there. There's more of that pattern effect there in the back. Almost goldish colour to the engines. As we rotate through, that grey section is reflective. Same again there on the underside. Here we have the Nukara Crystalline Resilient Shield from the Nukara rep. So very similar to the Vanity Shield, just a slightly lighter hull material. Got a cyan blue here on the engines and the lights here at the front. So you'll see that pattern effect there on the hull material. Got the yellow there on the impulse engines, and then this circuitry kind of effect pattern going on several portions of the ship. A bit of a blue reflective shine as the light hits it and we rotate through. Here we have the Omega Force shield from the Omega Force Reputation, so similar to the Vanity Shield, except rather than having the blue checks, this is gold check pattern to it. Bits of lighter grey hull pattern there, and there's a gold check pattern. And more of the gold fill there as well. And more so there on the underside. Here we have the Prevailing Innovated Resilient Shield from the competitive Wargames Reputation. So it's a very similar light grey hull material to the Vanity Shield, except instead of having yellow lighting, we've got some blue illuminated lighting here. We've got these blue reflective panels instead of the yellow. There's those blue reflective panels there. And a few there on the underside, and a lot of this blue illuminated dots throughout the hull material. Here we have the Romulan Advanced Prototype Shield from the new Romulus reputation. As you see here, we've got some of this pale green shading and illuminated green lines. Same here on the back. A bit there on the cells. See quite a bit of that green pattern there on the top, and it's still showing the base hull material underneath. And more of the green shaded areas with these illuminated green lines. Here we have the Temporal Defense Initiative Regenerative Shield from the Temporal Defense Reputation System. A slightly lighter hull compared to the Vanity Shield. We've still got these colour sections that do change as light hits them. Almost a brown leathery effect here, or a tan effect going on. Same here on the cells, you've got that cyan and blue effect there for the engines. A hint of purple here on the cells as well. As we rotate through, those panels with the colouring change as the light hits them. See more of that leathery effect pattern. And you just make it this illuminated pink lines as opposed to the yellow on the Vanity Shield. And there's those panels changing colour as the light moves around them. Here we have the Terran Task Force covariant shield from the Terran reputation system. A darker hull compared to the Vanity Shield, and we've got this yellow illumination lines going around it. The yellow there on the nacelles, these red lines as well on the material. Got the yellow there on the impulse engines. So got this welded hull plating look to it. And more of that hull plating effect covering quite a bit of the ship. More of those yellow illuminated dashes and dots on the underside. Here we have Tilly's review pending modified shield, so it's one of the best shields in the game for your ship. I just don't see what the visuals are supposed to represent. It's this oily effect on the ship again, similar to the Vanity Shield. Next up is the Dielectric Oscillation Resilient Shield. This is a mission reward from Cold Storage, I believe. It's designed to give your ship the look of a green vessel. Unfortunately, it is an extremely old shield. It's from one of the very early missions that are no longer part of the main story arc, and it has not aged well, I'm afraid. The hull material is a mixture of greys, greens and blacks. The green effect there on the engines. It's just not quite as crisp as some of the newer shields are. Here we have the Jem'Hadar Resilient Shield. So if you start as a Jem'Hadar character, you have this shield on your ship already. I say it does a visual as well as an actual shield itself. For non-Jem'Hadar characters, it's a mission reward from Boldly They Rode, one of the old Dominion missions which isn't part of the main story arc anymore, but it is still available from your available tab in the missions. It does add this grey to the hull material. Slightly different effect here on the nacelles and the impulse engines compared to just the standard hull material. So, for being an older shield, it does work on a variety of ships, and unsurprisingly it does suit a Jem'Hadar vessel very, very well. And we come to our last shield, which is the Reman prototype covariant shield from the mission Coliseum. So if you're playing the main story arcs, this will generally be your first shield that has a visual component to it. And you can see here it's very similar to the Vanity Shield with these light panels covering quite a bit of the ship. That blue and white stripe effect here in the cells. You've got this aqua blue effect here for the impulse engines. Take through, you get that little shine as the light hits it, and there's a lot of those light panels on the top of the ship. And same again there on the underside. And that concludes our video. So as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Do remember to like and subscribe. If there's any particular ships you'd like to see, by all means leave it in the comments, and if I have the ships I will certainly do a video on them for you. As always, there is chapters listed down below, plus links to the STO wiki for all the information on Star Trek Online, the official Star Trek Online news blog for all the latest patch notes and additions to the game, and there's also a link there to Casual Sab's YouTube. He does a lot of build videos, reviews on stuff in the game, which is extremely good and extremely helpful. It has saved me a fortune, to say the least. He also does Q&As and live streams as well. And there's also links to my social media and my affiliate link to Real Merch for 10% off any starship from Star Trek models that you order. So until the next video, thanks again.